Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our Dark Souls playthrough. So, this is part 3. When last we left off, we had just finished with the gargoyle fight, and now, I believe today I'm going to try to get through as much of Lower Undead Berg as well as the gutter as possible. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So, you guys won't really notice, but it has been a minute since I did my last recording, so I don't remember everything that I was doing or what all of my stuff and gear is looking like, but it's fine. I'll figure it out as we go along. I do recall being stronger than last time I did this practice run though. So that's always a plus. Now I think all we really have to do is get to, let's go ahead and stab this Baldur's Knight for old times. Now I think all we have to do is get to, oh, so finish this guy. There he is. I believe all we have to do is get to the other side of this bridge here, which isn't that difficult. Sorry guys, sometimes my controller is a bit finicky. I feel like I need a new one. Causes me to just start walking sometimes when I'm not trying to. Alright, let's go ahead and rest here to get this bonfire checkpoint. And then what we're going to do is pretty risky, all things considered. We're most likely not going to make it. Oh. Yeah. I'm just gonna have to eat this. Ooh, should have healed. That's fine. This is why we grab checkpoints. And it's fine. I won't be needing to be alive for quite some time actually, so it doesn't really matter. Let's just put an end to you. I don't really care about 700 souls, but I'd still rather not lose them, you know. Never know. Could be the difference between a level up and not a level up at some point. Oh, that's what I should have done. Didn't think about it that way. I should have triggered the dragon, run back, and then gotten it to go away. Because as you saw just then, it doesn't respawn. Anyway, it doesn't really matter all that much. There's a quick little checkpoint here. Or not really a checkpoint, more of a shortcut really. Badly? But it didn't. If you're wondering what this leads to well, not there. This leads here. This is the little bridge where they're throwing fire bombs at you. That shouldn't have been a backstab, but I'll take it. All right. Continuing on. Now here is where the dogs are. No, the Souls games have never been good with dogs. They're always bad. I don't care what anyone says. You can fight me. There's 2 more we have to deal with, but that's fine. I mean, they aren't horrible, they're just not good. I forgot I should be two-handing. There's literally no reason for me to not be two-handing since I'm not using a shield. Alright, now here we can put our residence key to use once again.
Somebody, anybody, help me. Damn, how did this...
Oh gosh, I did it. I skipped the audio. I need to get back into it. That's fine. Hopefully you were able to catch the subtitles. Forgive me, everyone.
Brilliant. You opened the door for me. Thank you. I'm saved. I thought I might never escape. I am Griggs of Vinheim, a sorcerer of the school. I am much obliged for your assistance. Thanks to you, I may now resume my travels.
Yeah, anything else?
Oh, hello. I'm fine. I will rest a while, then return to Firelink Shrine. I have my sorcery. And I will be more cautious next time. Besides, I have an important task at hand.
All right, awesome. Now, all right, so over here, don't underestimate these torch hollows. They actually hurt quite a bit. Luckily, I am strong enough to one-tap them, so that's always a plus. Come on, there we go. Yeah, ideally, you'd be able to kind of divide and conquer like I have. And for our patience, we get a twin humanity, which we'll be putting to use later. Much later, by the way. All right, now here is where things get fun, because we have, let's see if I can, yeah. There's enemies behind the doors here, and I think I knocked them too far back. Yeah. And each one of them is honestly pretty annoying on its own. So we're gonna come up here. So you don't want these guys to backstab you. Alright, now if these guys assume a parrying stance, don't attack them straight on. You will get parried. Nope, you survived. Like that. That's their parrying stance. Alright, one more. Come on. Stop doing that. There we go. Wait, I can two-shot these guys. Alright, so up here is, yeah, more dogs to start. But beyond that, there's also 3 more of these guys. In case you missed the first trio of them. These ones always feel more aggressive than the first set to me. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I don't really get the chance to get the element of surprise on them. Okay, so what you guys just observed there was a counter hit, which essentially can happen when you like interrupt another entity's animations. Usually it happens like for counter attacks, but it can also like when enemies are dodging, like what that guy just did. So let's say if someone were to hit me when I did this, that would like count as a counter against me. Which essentially, I'm not, I'm not the tech / mechanics guy. I don't know what the actual damage multiplier is, but it looks like it's like 1.5 times damage. That's just me spitballing. All right, now here we'll be picking up the head piece of our final set. I won't be wearing it now just because I think it looks kind of silly with this outfit. Yeah, but we will be using it later. All right, we're not going to immediately go into the boss room. We're actually going to we're going to loop back around to Majula. really hadn't turned my back to you, but whatever. I mean, I did, but I was also in the middle of attacking you. Alright. This is fine. So we're going to come round. So we need to kill that boss to open this door. Pick up more souls, which we're going to use later. Now, I think I mentioned in episode 1 that I didn't get to as high a level as I had originally spec'd for this character. And that most likely still won't be the case, but this time I'm going to,
You still have your senses about you. Then why won't you buy some of my moss? I need your souls.
now, as I was saying, I think this time I'm going to take a page out of one of my friends' books and actually use my soul items just to kind of see what level I can end up at using those soul items. Anyway, let's keep going. So this, if you guys don't recognize it, is the same aqueduct that leads back to Firelink, which I think I already said we were coming back to Firelink, but just in case you weren't paying attention. Okay. Oh, and I'm dead. This is fine. Let's see, what bonfire is that gonna land me at? Okay, I can work with this. Alright, note to self, that is a dangerous maneuver. Don't do that again. So let's go ahead and, as originally planned, get back to the Firelink bonfire so we can get more flasks. Alright. Oh, that's rude. There we go. Alright, I don't think 4K souls is really getting us anything right now. Also, since we're back here, we can go ahead and speak to, what is, not Forlorn, the Crestfallen Knight. Let's go ahead and speak with him.
Why, what a surprise. I didn't expect you to make it. Oh, somebody rang the bell. Wait, was it you? You never give up, do you? I don't know how you do it. Well, don't stop now. Only one more. But it's going to be suicide. What's wrong? Get a bit of a scare out there? No problem. Have a seat and get comfortable. We'll both be hollow before you know it. Well, what are you going to do? I've already decided. I don't really care. I'm simply crestfallen.
Alright, so that's the Crestfallen Knight. I get one level. Okay, let's go ahead and get that dexterity up. Again, remember when I get it to 20, I'll be focusing on vitality and then endurance, and then back to dexterity. Those are the only 3 stats that I will be upgrading from this point forward. This is a not painfully, this is a beautifully simple build, which I really enjoy. Makes me very happy. I don't have to worry about spells. Only spells I have to worry about are pyromancies, and pyromancies are not that complex, thankfully. And it's not like they're really going to be a main part of our kit either. Like we're a swordsman first that just so happens to have some chaos pyromancies. We're not going to be like a pyromancer with a sword. We're a swordsman with pyromancies. It's kind of the theme I'm going for. Yeah, just to clear that up. I'm not... Look, if I wanted to make a pyromancer build, it would be super easy, and this run would barely be worth any note. Honestly, as it is, it's barely worth any note beyond what entertainment you may get from watching it and listening to me speak. But yeah, I mean, this is chill. It's nothing groundbreaking really. Get back here. I'm glad their Estus doesn't kick in nearly as immediately as ours does. Right, so what we're gonna do here is these dogs could be a bit of a problem on these steps. That's one down. Believe it or not, these dogs have killed me on these steps before, so do not underestimate them. Now, there's a neat trick that I probably won't be utilizing, but, and I haven't done it in a while either, that you can throw bombs over the wall and kill some of the ads that are in there with the boss. Get that entirely wrong, but you probably need to step back a bit further. I'm just going to show you that you can, in fact, get bombs over the wall. Then I'll just walk in. Yeah, like that. So, anyway, I'm not wasting all my fire bombs. Not that I will be using them for anything, just don't feel like wasting them. I'm a hoarder like that. Oh. Am I dead here? Might be. Yeah, alright. Alright, we'll do a reset really fast. We're back. So, Capra is one of those early game boss fights that it's probably the only one that I can really say gives me trouble of any variety. And it's really all because of the dogs, if we're being honest. Alright. Ow. Alright, now if I can get to a spot and heal up, we'll be good. Nope. Right, here we go for attempt number 3. Now, as I was trying to say before I was so rudely killed, Capra's difficulty mostly comes in with the fact that there are 2 dogs in here, which I already find annoying. Coupled with the fact that this is a very small arena. Fourth time, surely. Right. I will say that's the one thing I do appreciate about Capra is that it's not a very long run back. I'm going to be cutting out the run backs, but it's not very long. Capra himself, honestly, isn't that hard. Now that the dogs have been eliminated, which it's questionable whether or not I hit either one of them, I'm gonna be honest. Both times it looks like I barely clipped them, but common wisdom states that you get him to come up the stairs and then you do. plunging attacks on him, but honestly, I just don't find that necessary. Most of the time. Like, fighting Capra straight on isn't that hard if you know his patterns. He's a very simple enemy, in my personal opinion. He just feels very threatening at lower levels because you have less health. But as you saw there, I just no-hit him. Anyway, at least now we'll have a decent amount of souls to use to level up in the next area. Now, I'm going to go ahead and keep pushing through to the gutter. Or is it called the gutter in this game? What is it called? What is it called in this game? The depths, my bad. The gutter is from Dark Souls 2, I believe. I'm getting games mixed up here. Oh, that's in the intro too. Oh well. You don't know what I'm talking about. Still be careful about these torch enemies. They are still not to be trifled with. You know, things are gonna start getting a bit tougher around here in terms of the amount of health they have. Luckily, I did upgrade my gear, so maybe it won't be as bad, but definitely, you know, stands to present an issue if we don't take things seriously and carefully. Like you should in any Souls game though. So I doubt I need to tell you guys to, you know, be careful. Alright, here comes a butcher. This is a woman, by the way. You know, not to say anything about people's appearances, but in case you didn't know, now you know. Alright, so back here is a passage that we'll be using in a bit once we clear up everything else. For now, though, let us... Now with these dogs, I would rather just eat the attacks than roll and flail around. I mean, they do damage, but we have Estus, we can take it. Like that. With this guy, as long as he doesn't do like that 90 hit combo, yeah, we're good. Right, and see, we just got one humanity, so that's one less of my own humanities that I have to use. Now here, what we're gonna do, so, surprise, there's a second butcher. So we're just gonna dispatch of this one as well. Now, how do I know the butcher is a woman? Well, because of this dialogue we're about to hear.
You. Yes, you. Here, over here. Please, you must help me. Thank you. I would have been at supper without you. Been eaten alive. I shudder to think. Thank you. Thank you dearly. I am Laurentius, or the Great Swamp. I will not forget my debt to you.
So as you just heard, he referred to, well, at least that butcher as a she. The other one could have been male for all I know. But their models are literally identical, so.
Oh, hello there. I'm fine, thanks to you.
All right, and I don't think Laurentius has anything else to add to the conversation right now, so we'll be speaking to him later. It won't be until after we get out of Blighttown, though. Depending on how efficiently I do this, we may actually be able to get Gaping done. It's my goal to get Gaping done today. Or rather, in this episode. Get 2 bosses done in 1 episode would be awesome. Also, down in the depths, or further down into the depths rather, is going to be one of our mainstay rings that we'll be using. For those of you who are already familiar with the game, you probably know what it is, given what my katana choice for this run is going to be. Spider shield, and we're gonna soften up this rat a little bit with firebomb. And then we're gonna hit it with a plunging attack. It's humanity. Okay, so next thing we're gonna do is just kind of clear up this item, or clear up this area of any items, excuse me. Nice, we need that key. And this is why I always come in here first, is because I want that key. You're gonna come down this left path and you're gonna hug the left. And then we're gonna come this way. Here it is. Now this is, I guess, simultaneously like a weird hybrid of a playthrough and a walkthrough. I'm not really setting out to walk you through the game necessarily. This is really just me cataloging a playthrough that popped into my head one day. Alright, here we go. Bonfire. Alright, now what we're going to do with this bonfire is, one, we're going to level. Alright, we get 5 levels out of this. Perfect. 'Cause I want to start leveling my vitality now. Also, I don't think we can reinforce this weapon any further. Nope, we don't have any more Titanite. Perfectly fine. Doesn't really present us any really big issues. What we are going to do, however, is start repairing our equipment. It was right around this point in my original run that my stuff started to be at risk. So gonna go ahead and get on top of that. I'm also going to reverse my hollowing. I'm not going to kindle this bonfire. I've never seen any reason to. Feel free to if you think you need to, or if you just have the spare humanity. For myself, I'm purposefully being a bit stingy with the humanity. I'm keeping it for a very specific purpose. If you can guess, just based on what you've heard me say about this run, why I'm holding on to the humanity, leave it down in the comments. Though it's really not a secret. I'm not, trying to. It's a little bit of viewer engagement, I suppose. Nice. Now again, none of this stuff that we're picking up is strictly speaking necessary. Rat in this box. If you see an item that I pick up that you either didn't know how to get before, or maybe you think would be good for a run, then I'm glad that that was helpful to you. But yeah, picking up all these items is not necessary in the slightest. And there's a little pathway there. I never take it. It's always just seemed easier to take this pathway. Now the reason we want to come here is because this guy right here will buff the boss if we don't kill him. He would have buffed those rats too. Luckily, he's one of those enemies that don't respawn. Alright, now we're going to just go ahead and... That was a lot easier than my practice run. I played like a weird game of cat and mouse with him because my stats were like way lower. There's a rat in this box. And I think there may be one in this box. There aren't any rats in these boxes, and there's a Titanite over here. Large Titanite, in fact. We'll be holding on to those. I'll probably upgrade my scimitar. If I get enough Titanite for it, I'll upgrade my scimitar to the point where it... in case you were curious, this is where that stairway led to that I was telling you that I never take. And I usually just avoid the holes in the ground. It's honestly my entire goal in pathing. Down here. Ow. I attack you. Right, now obviously you have to deal with this thing if you are like me and don't feel like trying to make jumps. But honestly, not that bad. Anywho's. Oh, you're right. So I guess you can't really avoid all the jumps. Oh wait, no. That path doesn't have a jump. No, that's the path we should have taken. Oh well. Doesn't matter. Anyway, if you're curious where this leads, this just leads back to the chamber where the little giant rat was. Which we're actually going to take the same way down that we did last time. Alright, now this is where I could potentially die, so... First we're going to deal with this slime. Luckily, they basically can't attack you as long as you're attacking them. Alright, so... Is there any others? We're going to come over here. Gonna get these rats' attention. I think there's one, yeah, there's another one. And I think there's a smaller one, is there not? Yes. Perfect. Alright, now the stage should be clear for what comes next. First, actually, let's, new enemy discovered. This is a basilisk. They are iconic in the games, not for good reasons. We'll talk about them later, after I've dealt with Kirk. Alright, so this, I can already see this will be significantly easier than my practice run. Which I'm not complaining about in the slightest. Now just imagine me doing this, right? Except with basically worse stats and a worse weapon. The way I actually did it, I actually treated it like a mini Capra demon, where I would lure him over here, he'd fall, and then I would plunging attack him. As you can see, that was not necessary for today, thankfully. We also get one more humanity. Trust me, you want to take full advantage of the free humanities the game gives you, either via invaders or from bosses. Let's see, I know there's a way to kill this one. Sworn. I swear, guys, I've hit that one through the bars before. Alright, it doesn't matter. I'm actually glad one of them dropped an Eye of Death literally on the first drop. It gives me an item to read at the end here. All right, now you don't want to get caught in that stuff that they're spitting out. Like, it is absolutely imperative that you don't, actually. My very first run of the game, I made the mistake of getting caught up in that, and it was not a good time. Opposite of a good time, actually. I also don't like fighting them in close quarters. Or, rather, in enclosed quarters. Somehow my eyes completely ignored the fact that there was an item on that corpse. Come on back this way. Yeah, you see that meter that was starting to fill up because I was standing in it? You don't want that to get full. Alright. Oh, there's another one. I don't even want to let that bar get full for like educational purposes. I'll just tell you, you don't want it to happen. Anyway, here's my ring. The Ring of the Evil Eye. Absorbs HP from fallen opponents. This will be invaluable in this run. We will essentially never take it off. Well, there will be certain times we take it off. The Eye of Death, awesome. Very rarely will we take it off, I'll put it that way. Yeah. Grab one more. Humanity. You don't want to fall down that. That is instant death. Alright, now let's start making our way toward the next boss, as we have more or less cleared this area. Part of me is debating whether or not I should just go and level up. Honestly, it would take nothing to go and level up, and it's really more safe to go and level up considering the run to the boss is very short and with basically no risk. So I'm going to dispose of these enemies, and then I'm going to talk to the merchant that's up ahead.
Aye, Shemai, and good day to you. I'm Donald of Xena. I'm just, well, a peddler of sorts. I adore trinkets and oddities, so I trade for them. I'm afraid I don't see anything here.
Alright, so from him you can get crystal weapons. So the thing about crystal weapons is they're really strong, especially in the early game. The only issue with them is that you cannot repair them. The only way to quote unquote repair them is to repair them. Or, oh my god. The only way to repair them is to upgrade them. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and read this set just because I have no intention of buying it. We're going to read this now. We're going to read one of the crystal weapons as well. A fully crystallized greatsword. How such a weapon was created is entirely unknown. The crystallization boosts its attack but makes the blade brittle. The sword cannot be used for long as it cannot be repaired. And then this is the armor of the glorious. Strange armor from the ancient land of Xena. Birthplace of the curious dealer, Dommel. The many metals are believed to symbolize glory. In this one, the gold bracelet symbolize a vanquisher. The inlaid silver rings symbolize an explorer. And the two horns are believed to symbolize wisdom. Interestingly enough, this is completely off the top of my head, but for some reason that makes me think very much of like, and I don't know why. I'll have to give that a think. I don't know if that's, darn it, I did it again. I don't know if that's meant to be any kind of symbolism to Odin or any kind of real life god or anything, but it really made me think Odin. If you don't know anything about Odin, this is a very strange tangent considering I'm playing Dark Souls, but Odin is a very multifaceted god in Norse mythology. And mind you, I'm no expert. I am no expert on Norse mythology, nor am I of the Norse culture. However, very multifaceted god. He goes by many different names and titles. You know, the Hanged God being one of them. And he is a god of like war, just kind of being an Aesir deity, wisdom and knowledge, as well as like trickery, exploration. Now the reason he's called the Hanged God is because he once literally hung himself. He made an offering to himself of himself in exchange for like wisdom or something like that. And he's called Old One Eye. I don't know if he's called Old One Eye, but he is like, you know, the one-eyed god. It's very characteristic of him. Again, sacrificing one of his eyes for knowledge. So I don't know. Very strange tangent. Don't know why that went there, but something about that armor made me think about Odin. Which is interesting now that I say his name. It's very similar to Odin from Bloodborne, who is the formless Great One. Once again, we can summon our buddy duo of Lautrec and Solaire, which we will be doing, because why not? Also, I think summoning them kind of builds this interesting narrative that's kind of going forward that you'll see, where it's like the two of them are kind of with us on our journey. And then, depending on, you know, certain events and our choices, well, they won't be around forever. And I think it built an interesting narrative to kind of show, you know, it's built into Dark Souls 1 that we're not necessarily on this journey alone. Alright, so this is the Gaping Dragon. Now the Gaping Dragon is pretty interesting because it is, if you remember the opening cinematic, it's not really an ancient dragon, but I do believe either something about it, I think one of its items, probably the one that I'm about to get here, does reference it being a descendant of the ancient dragons. It's clearly malformed and misshapen, right? Like, that's very clear to see. It doesn't really resemble a dragon at all, if we're being honest with ourselves. I was about to like say back up as if Lautrec and Solaire were like real people, but yeah, we're gonna want to not be close to that when he does the little throw up attack. Now it looks like Solaire may not make it. I've definitely had runs where both Solaire and Lautrec survive. This is not going to be one of them by the looks of it. Back up a little bit because, yeah, and so if he does this part of the attack, he turns into a Monster Hunter boss where his entire body becomes a hitbox. Alright, we're just gonna stay right here in the back where it's safe. Now, interestingly enough, Solaire is a perfect companion for this boss just because dragons have a general weakness to lightning. I say as Solaire dies. It's fine. We can finish up with Lautrec. And that is Gaping. Done and dusted. So, as you can see, not really a difficult boss fight by any means. Now, last time we killed a boss, I went straight to the next area. This time, I will be going back to level up some more. And actually, part of me is considering stopping right here, but I'm not going to. I am going to continue on, and then I'm gonna, do the classic item read, and then we're gonna call it a day. Or an episode, I suppose. I'm so used to streaming terminology where it's like, it's fine. I'll get used to it. Okay, let's see. You don't really need to kill any of these guys. They're not trying to kill you. There's no point in you trying to kill them. So, this next part, like I mentioned, is going to be pretty dangerous, so I don't really have a surefire way to get through this. Just do your best. That's all I can really say. And hopefully you're doing a strength run. That way you won't be struggling as much as me. Not that I'm struggling, but you'll have a much easier time with a strength run than what I'm doing. At least I think you will. Alright. Alright, now these guys hit really hard. It's really just in your best interest to not get hit by them at all. If I'm being honest. These guys also hit fairly hard, but they're not nearly as tanky as the big dudes. They literally take half the hits. Now you see these darts flying at me, don't get hit by them. Or, I will say, do your best to not be hit by them. Like I just failed to. Alright, perfect. Do as I say, not as I do. You guys don't understand how good it feels to actually, like, not be struggling to kill these guys. Every time I play one of these, every time I do another run, I improve somehow. Because I definitely feel as though I was much less prepared by the time I got to this area in my practice run, and I can't really even point out to you what the difference is. Alright. Alright. I couldn't tell you any difference right now between this and my practice run, or why it, other than my sword being stronger, why it feels as though I'm performing better. Maybe it's because it's before. I'm doing it for you guys, so I gotta show off a little bit, you know. I can't look silly in front of my viewers. Says the guy who got killed by Capra like 5 times. or 4 times, or however many times it was. Right, so you see down there, that item is going to be the catalyst for our end game item, but we're actually not going to go straight there. What we're going to do is avoid that right there. That will collapse out from underneath you. What we're going to do is, one, avoid him, but also we're going to move this bonfire. Now, we are officially in Blighttown, so I'm going to call it here. We're going to do the item reading, and then we're going to end the day. So first, let's start with the Eye of Death. The dreadful Eye of Death spread disaster across neighboring worlds. Phantoms lured to the host world may end up as victims, allowing the Eye of Death to multiply and leading to further proliferation of Bane. So this is a Covenant item used for the Great Lord, the Grave Lord, excuse me, Covenant. Let's see, we got a dung pie today. Atrocious fecal waste material. Throw an enemy to build up toxins, but also builds up your toxicity. Although the stench makes it difficult to carry on one's person, turning an enemy toxic inflicts high damage over a period of time. Do forgive me if I miss any items. I can't necessarily always remember what items we have and have not gotten in a singular run. I know we got the large ember today. Ember acquired for weapon ascension. A large, high-quality ember handled by the blacksmiths of Astora, which we know Andre is from Astora, but do we know that? Has he introduced himself? Anyway, he is Andre of Astora. I don't know if he's introduced himself as such. I'm pretty sure he has, though. Ascension for +5 standard weapon allows reinforcement to +10. This is going to be a very important item for us coming. Also can ascend +5 standard weapon to raw weapon, which can then be reinforced to +5. Raw weapons basically remove the scaling from weapons but increase their base damage. We also got a couple of keys today. Key to the depths. So key opening the door from the lower undead berg to the depths. Those banished from the undead berg eke out their existence in the depths, a damp lair with no trace of sunlight. Nearly half of the depths form a perilous flooded labyrinth. And then we got the sewer chamber key. Key to the sewer chamber in the depths. In any community, a few bad apples are sure to exhibit insatiable greed. If they were turned undead and banished to the depths, would they reconsider their ways? Use this key to see for yourself. And then we got the Blighttown key. Key to Blighttown from the depths of the undead berg, swallowed by the gaping dragon. You know, I've never actually even thought about why Gaping had this. He swallowed it. Anyway, as its name suggests, Blighttown is a place of great pestilence. Even the polluted inhabitants of the depths are aware of its dangers and built this mighty door in hopes that they could remain safely separated. Now that I never knew. Did we pick up any... the Demon Great Machete. This is actually a rare drop, not guaranteed to get from Capra. So I'm glad we got it. So this is an ultra great sword. The lesser Capra demons use these great swords in pairs. The blade is cast iron and hooked. The sword is imbued with no particular magic, but for those who have the strength, its great weight will smash foes mercilessly. We also got the great axe today. This great axe is a veritable mass of iron. Its weight sends foes flying but makes it difficult to handle without inhuman strength. Any miss makes one vulnerable. As each swing requires the full force of the body. Then we got the Dragon King Great Axe. This axe, one of the rare dragon weapons, is formed by the tail of the gaping dragon, a distant, deformed descendant of the everlasting dragons. The axe is imbued with a mystical power, to be released when held in both hands. Let's see. I think we get either the light or the heavy crossbow today, but it doesn't matter since their descriptions are mostly the same. We got the Sorcerer's Catalyst today. Let's see. Weapon type Catalyst. Sorcery Catalyst used by sorcerers of Vinheim, Dragon School. Equip Catalyst to use sorceries. Attune sorceries from a scroll at a bonfire. I believe we also got the Target Shield today. Small round metal shield, 4 protrusions used to parry attacks. Small shields are always less stable, but landing critical hits after parry is easier. This shield is specialized for parrying. And we got the Spider Shield today. Shield of the Savage Mountain Bandits, uniquely shaped with a large black spider etched upon it. Has resistance to poison. We got the hard leather set today. A sturdy helm made of iron, very common type of protective gear. It provides a sound level of defense. It is wise to wear a sturdy form of head protection against arrows and other physical threats. We got the thief sets today, / the black leather set. Mask of sinners. They hide their faces, stifle their voices, and hide in the shadows. It does not provide much in the way of defense. This armor, made of smooth black leather, is extremely quiet, a good thing for those who hide in the shadows. The leather itself is thick, offering a decent level of protection. We also got the sorcerer set today. Cloak worn by proper sorcerers who study at Vinheim Dragon School. The majority take pride in having studied at the academy and look down on breaking the formal dress code established for sorcerers. And we also got a sack today. Bloodstained patchwork sack by the undead man-eating cook lurking in the depths. 2 eye holes have been haphazardly cut out. It is unexpectedly soft and comfortable to wear, but it is probably near meaningless in terms of defense. We got the Ring of the Evil Eye today. According to legend, this ring contains the spirit of the Evil Eye, a dark beast which assaulted Astora. The strength of the Evil Eye does not waver, and HP is absorbed from fallen enemies. Alright, that is today's episode. I hope everyone enjoyed, and I hope that you will be joining me for episode 4 when we try to conquer Blighttown. Upper and lower, depending on how fast I can get through it. So, yeah, until next time, have a good one. Peace.